So we've seen some questionable career choices in our time, I bet. But there's probably one that takes the cake, the bakery, and the entire supply chain. Meet Taru. He's basically a 12-year-old who lives in Japan, and he decided that a secondary school, which, by the way, we all know is the most important developmental years of a human's life, is just a distraction from his real job, which is Fortnite. And before you ask where are the responsible parents and guardians of all this, oh, believe me, they're already there. They know he's going to do this thing. And they are 120% behind this. And what we're going to be looking at here is either a living legend when it comes to gaming or the most expensive crash landing we'll see in gaming history. And we're about to break it down here today. So Taro's logic behind dropping out of school to pursue gaming full time is very simple, but it's pretty terrifying at the same time. Because basically what he was saying is that in order to stay competitive, you need to play for 10 to 14 hours, and that's what he's pursuing. And the reason why he wants to drop out of school is because anytime he would go to school and he would come home from school, he's kind of too tired to play video games. Sure, he may play for a few hours, but then after some time, he's just tired and he doesn't want to play games anymore because school is taking up a lot of his time and his energy. So he took this choice and said, you know what, I'm just going to drop out of school entirely and just pursue gaming. This is kind of weird when you think about it because you have a kid that is looking at school like as if it's a 9 to 5 shift at a coal mine. Like, it's absolutely crazy. You have kids that are faking stomach pains. You remember back in the day, you would fake being sick so that you could skip out on a math test. This kid wants to drop out of school entirely for video game, and his parents are 100% behind this choice. Basically, he really just said, listen, I can learn about Japanese culture and Japanese history. I can do that. Or I can just learn how to clip people on Fortnite and make money off of it. And one, of course, gives you money and most likely V-Bucks, and the other choice is just giving you an A plus on a piece of paper with a happy sticker on it for a job well done. He's obviously favoring one over the other, so hence why he wants to stay away from school in order to pursue gaming. And with that, he managed to convince his entire bloodline to retire at the age of 12, like before he even touches middle school or high school. It's absolutely insane. As far as his bloodline goes, now that we can finally talk about his parents now, they're drinking the Kool-Aid. They took a whole pitcher and they're guzzling it. His father claimed that his son Taru has the type of natural talent that not many other kids have. Like, for example, his focus is really on point, and it's funny when he explains it because it gets worse as he continuously describe his son's dedication to it. Because he did mention that he had a gaming session where his son was playing video games, get this, for 28 hours straight. A 12-year-old playing video games for 28 hours straight. And then it only gets worse from here. There was a point in time during the middle of that session, he was in a flow state. For those that don't know, a flow state is when you feel like you're in the zone, you're locked in, you are 100% concentrated, you are at your peak performance. He didn't want to break that peak. He didn't want to break that mentality. And he had to use the bathroom. He had to pee. He decided, I'm not going anywhere. And he just let nature take full control. Ladies and gentlemen, that is not dedication. That is not a flow state. That is a biological hazard right there. Like, if anybody were to call professionals in this kind of situation, it's two that you have to call. A plumber to make sure the toilet's working, and a therapist. If you are willing to marinate in your own urine, if it means securing like a win, a digital win, or doing the loser dance on your enemy's grave after a win, I promise you, you are achieving a level of a gamer that people would pray they would never reach in their lifetime. His dad really sees this as like unparalleled dedication. Like, that's my boy. That's my boy right there. This is not the type of flex that you think it is to just pee on yourself and root for your son like as if this is like the level of gamers that people wish they could achieve. Because that is not the flex at all. Stepping away from the shock factor from a moment, I do want to say this. Things get a little bit complicated. Because Taru isn't this kid who just so happens to be very good and have unparalleled dedication and great focus when it comes to games. He also has an online following. So apparently he has over 200,000 followers on social media. So there's plenty of people that are actually rooting for this kid more than anything else. If we're going to look at this from a cold, capitalistic standpoint, like we're looking at this like high reward, high risk stocks. His parents are going, they're going all in. All chips are in. They're YOLOing their life savings into the battle bus here. This kid in 5 years' time could probably make more money than a lot of us. To an extent, I completely understand why they would want to pursue a career like this. But at the same time, there's so much risk behind it. Because if you think about it, like for instance, Taru's all about Fortnite. He plays Fortnite all the time. He wants to excel at Fortnite. Now, let's be realistic here. Not everything lasts forever. So, let's say, God forbid, within, say, a year or two, Fortnite decides to shut everything down. Like, hey, we had a good run. It's a wrap. We're shutting down Fortnite. I don't know what this kid is going to do. I don't know if he's going to head on over to a new game, if he's going to, hang the headset and just call it a good career. Because people need to understand that the gaming career, whether you're like a live streamer or if you're like an esports player, it's one of the most volatile careers you can have. So even if he did pursue this and he retired from school and he wanted to get into gaming, the future isn't very concrete for him. I just only hope that he has a backup plan whenever things do go south for him. May it be within or out of his control. And also, not to mention, gaming is always changing things up no matter what. Like Fortnite today isn't Fortnite 5 years ago or 8 years ago, right? So in other words, what I'm saying is all it could take is one patch, one meta, one diagnosis of, I don't know, like carpal tunnel syndrome, and this kid's career could be over. This is what I'm saying when I say that gaming could be very volatile, because sometimes just one little change or one diagnosis or one major decision in the gaming industry could really shut down your entire career. And I only hope this kid has a backup plan. But right now, this kid is in his prime and he hasn't even hit puberty yet. I want to make this very clear. This video is not to bash Taru or to bash his parents or anything like that. I genuinely want to believe that this kid could be successful at what he wants to do and what he loves to do. But the success here is so high, it's basically like in orbit right now. Like it is above the stratosphere. This is a wild parenting choice. Like this is absolutely crazy. Like we have to be for real for a moment. You have a kid that is wanting to drop out at 12 years old. His parents are literally justifying it. And he's entering a space where you can't just be good. A lot of people think, oh, you have to be good to be in esports. No, you can't just be good. You can't just be in the top 10% or in the top 1%. You have to be in the top 100th of a percent, like 0.01%. That is something that not many gamers or virtually any gamer can ever achieve. I just genuinely hope that the whole 28-hour gaming session thing doesn't all just go in vain, honestly. I'm pretty sure the kid loves doing what he does, but I only hope that this doesn't crash and burn, basically. Because again, just to play video games at a very young age and just ditch school entirely just for video games, I don't know, y'all. That's something I'm going to have to stand to the sidelines and watch from a distance, and we'll see what comes of it. But let me know what you think. What is your longest gaming session? And hopefully that gaming session involved the toilet. I'll see y'all in my next video. Peace.